Hi, Aunt Claire. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. My name is Claudia. Welcome to our counseling session. What brings you here today?
Yeah, Claudia, I have just had a lot going on lately. I am a mom of two kids, so my kids are ages 3 and 1.
Hmm.
I'm home with them for the summer, and I have been home with them. They'll start kind of a school in the fall, but I've been home with them a lot the last couple of years, but they've done like a mother's morning out kind of thing where they go to school like 2 or 3 mornings a week.
Hmm.
Um, And my husband has a restaurant and he is opening a second restaurant in a few weeks. And I just kind of feel like the pressure building up in me. I feel really anxious a lot lately. And um, it's kind of coming out with like, I want to focus on my kids and be there when I'm with them. Um, and I'm just having a really hard time managing a relationship with my husband, which we don't really get much time together right now. And we really won't once the second restaurant opens. I've done this before. And when one opens, it's just really, really busy for a few weeks, really a few months. Um, and I'm just kind of anticipating that opening and wondering, like, how am I going to manage? How am I going to make it? How am I going to survive this? I've done it before. I know I can do it again, but like, um, how am I going to do? Like, I'm in a grad school program. And so, yeah, I'll wrap it up. But basically, I'm just worried about like the stress management because I already feel the stress right now while he's in process of building this and feel pretty disconnected. Like, I guess I feel connected to myself since I know I'm stressed, but disconnected from other emotions that I want to have, like joy and peace. And I really just feel connected to the like stress anxious part of me. So yeah, kind of wrapping it up like I'm anticipating all this stressful stuff coming up and just I'm really dreading it.
It sounds like you're going through a lot. The opening of
Yeah.
a second restaurant and juggling your kids at home, which are pretty young in
Yeah.
age, and you've been through this before. So the
Hmm.
part of your stress is that you're anticipating what's coming.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Tell me more of what it was like the first time your
Mm.
husband opened the restaurant.
So he opened his restaurant in January 2020.
Mhm.
So it was about 6 weeks before the pandemic hit. So the first 6 weeks before the shutdown, he was working 100, 120 hours a week. And we did not have children yet, thankfully.
Mhm.
But, you know, I just didn't see him. And we didn't really know what this was going to be like. He quit a very stable job, like a family business, to shift gears and do this and kind of take a leap of faith. And so I was so proud of him. And there were all these really sweet parts about it. Um, but also the reality of owning and operating your own business and one that has breakfast all the way through dinner means that you are there. He was there like before 6 a.m. and coming back at like 1 or 2 a.m. So that was not sustainable. And the shutdown happened and they had to figure out like how can we survive this? And they adapted and it kind of gave him and his business partner time to figure out like how to do it in a more sustainable way. And so he's been working for the last how many years ago? Was that 4 years? 4 years to really like find balance. And we had our first kid in 2021. And so he was like, I know I've got to be home. So it's gotten better each year. Um, but there are always like what I've kind of found in the restaurant industry is you'll go through seasons, right? Of like things will be stable and steady and then like four people will quit at the same time for
Mhm.
various reasons and my husband has to fill those gaps and until it's resolved and so that might mean getting a call and it's like hey I gotta stay late, hey I actually have to work this Saturday and can't be there for that event for the kids or your family or whatever and so a lot of unpredictability.
Okay.
So it was hard, all that to say. It was really hard.
I would imagine you just telling me about him spending 100+ hours, that made me feel anxious and the feeling of when is my husband going to be home? And so I felt that inside of me. So I can only imagine what it was like for you. So you
Yeah.
mentioned feeling anxious, and instead of feeling joy, you're feeling anxious and you're a little bit of, worried about the situation. What is your worry? What
Mm.
what could possibly be causing your anxiety?
I think, you said earlier, like it's a lot of anticipatory, and that's what it is. It's anticipation. And so I just worry that like I'm gonna be alone
Mm.
with both kids and trying to do grad school and have like no lifeline to call.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So it stems from a feeling of lonely. You said lonely.
Yeah.
I want us to sit for a minute with that feeling of lonely.
Mm.
What if it goes there? Take a minute and really get in the feeling.
Yeah, I guess kind of what it brings up for me is like I've done this before, and I guess like it almost feels less scary. Like I've done it before and I know how incredibly lonely it can be. And that is scary. I I don't want to feel that again. Um don't want to be there again. But I have done it before, and I've done it with pretty much a baby, because the first year even with our baby it was better, but it was still him working every night. So yeah, it's like a both of like two feelings of like I know I can endure it and I don't want to.
Yes, can endure it and don't want to.
Mhm.
I sense the pain that that loneliness has caused you because you've been through it. And
Yeah.
you know what it's like. And now with two young children, it's got to be tough to think what a second round of that would be like.
Yeah. And I think that is the element that makes this one feel harder. Is like I knew that at some point they were going to open up another restaurant. I guess I thought it might be a few more years down the road.
Mm,
And there's not ever going to be like a great perfect time. Um but yeah, now I have kids involved, and so yeah, just like not knowing what it's gonna exactly look like and not knowing how long it's gonna take for him to figure out this balance of like, okay, you have another restaurant and now you've got to figure out how to manage both at the same time. And so where does that leave us?
mm.
I don't know. And so there's just so much unknown. And yeah. So I can't like live too far in the future, but
Mhm.
when I do think about it, there's some practical aspects of like, what do I do if I've got night class and you can't be home like you've
Mhm.
been home for me this last year? I don't know. And that's really scary to not know.
So what I hear you say is that you value stability, you value time with your husband, especially knowing when you can count on him with his time and the unpredictable hours of this new adventure that you guys are going into. It's just putting anxiety in you, it's putting pressure in you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I value stability so much. And I know that like I very much like am a fear driven person. Probably like it took me
Mm,
years to decide to do this counseling program because I was so afraid to do something that was a little bit unknown and uncertain. And, like what if I started it and didn't like it? And so having something like this happening that's like we know change is coming, we can anticipate it, we can kind of prepare for it, but I don't know exactly what it's going to look like is really scary for me. And I think it causes a lot of like issues in our marriage too, and like our communication. And yeah, I I don't want to be mad at him and like put all my anxiety on him, but it's hard sometimes not to be because like you're doing this,
Yeah.
you're
So,
making
so,
these choices.
so tell me, how does the fear interfere with your relationship with him? What does it look like?
Mm, I think because I'm afraid of the change and the unknown, I anticipate the worst
Mm,
and want to talk about it. And he is more like he's so much more like peaceful about things, and he like knows that there will be change, but he's like, you know what, we're gonna figure it out, and way more optimistic, I guess, in some ways.
mhm,
Um, but I feel like I am always like driving the practical bus of like, great, let's be optimistic and let's have
mhm,
a good plan. Like, I want to know when you're gonna be home. I want to
mm.
know when I need to get a nanny. I want to know if we can afford a nanny. Like, I want to know all the different possible ways to settle it, and when we're trying to communicate, it can come across as really like, I think it's like all my anxiety going, and it's just too much sometimes, like a fire hose. I feel like I
Mm,
fire hydrant out, and he doesn't have all of those answers. And so it's kind of
mm.
unfair to him. And then we end up, you know, in some kind of like tension or conflict because I think I kind of bring that to the table a lot.
I see, I see. And so when you're having these interactions with him, how does he react to you?
Mm. He gets defensive sometimes. Um, sometimes he might be I feel like it's one of two ways. He might kind of minimize and be like, "Oh, it's not going to be that big of a deal." Um, and if not, I think he feels defensive because he feels like I'm attacking his character a lot.
Mm.
Like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you to communicate. I don't he's hearing, I don't trust you